If you're watching this video, chances are you're thinking about downsizing. Or maybe you're standing in the middle of a house full of things, wondering where on earth do I even begin? I've been exactly where you are. When I first started my downsizing journey, I thought it was just about getting rid of stuff. I had no idea what I was really walking into, emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. The truth is, this process is far more complex than anyone ever tells you. That's why I'm making this video, to share the things I wish someone had told me before I began. This isn't just about organizing drawers or donating old clothes. It's about letting go of decades of memories, releasing the identity we've built around our belongings, and discovering what truly matters. And while the journey can be beautiful, it's also filled with tough decisions, unexpected emotions, and a few hard truths no one likes to talk about. So in today's video, I'll be opening up about the good, the real life-changing benefits of living with less, the bad, the emotional challenges that hit you out of nowhere, and the ugly, the mistakes I made and the things I'd never do again. Whether you're downsizing for a move, simplifying your life, or helping a loved one, I hope my story gives you clarity, comfort, and confidence. Because once you hear the truth, the real truth about decluttering and downsizing, you'll never see your stuff the same way again. If you had told me years ago that living with 5% of what I once owned would make me happier, I probably would have laughed. I had a beautiful 5,000 square foot home filled with furniture, artwork, clothes, and things I'd collected over a lifetime. But here's the truth. All of that stuff was silently draining me. When I finally decided to downsize, I didn't expect what came next. Sure, I thought I'd feel organized. I assumed I'd save a little money. But I never expected to feel this free. The first and most obvious benefit? Simplicity. Life just became easier. I didn't spend hours cleaning rooms I never used. I didn't misplace things anymore because everything had a place. I wasn't buried in stuff. I was surrounded only by what I loved and what served me. But simplicity was just the beginning. Downsizing gave me time back. Time I didn't know I was losing before. I wasn't spending weekends shopping for more or managing all the things I owned. I had the bandwidth to focus on relationships, creativity, and self-care. For the first time in years, I had breathing room in my home and in my life. Then came financial freedom. When I let go of my large home and all the expenses tied to it, my monthly costs dropped dramatically. I wasn't just saving money, I was reclaiming peace of mind. That allowed me to invest in experiences rather than things. I could travel more, spend time with family, support causes I cared about. It was like opening a door to a life I didn't realize I was locked out of. Another surprising gift? Clarity. Once the physical clutter was gone, the mental clutter followed. I could finally think clearly about what mattered most to me. My goals became more focused. My values became non-negotiable. It's like all that stuff had been muffling my true self, and letting it go gave me back my voice. And then there was the emotional side I hadn't anticipated. Joy. Real, deep, lasting joy. Letting go of items I once thought defined me actually helped me rediscover who I really was without them. I no longer felt tied down by old versions of myself. The clothes I no longer wore, the books I never read, the just-in-case boxes I never opened. Instead, I surrounded myself with meaning, not memories attached to things. Most people think downsizing is about giving things up. I'm here to tell you it's actually about gaining more space, more peace, more energy, more purpose. One of the most powerful moments I had was sitting in my smaller home, looking around and realizing, I know where everything is. I love everything in this space. And I finally feel at home, not just in this house, but in my life. Downsizing didn't take anything from me. It gave me back the life I didn't even know I was missing. Now let's talk about what most people don't prepare you for, the emotional side of downsizing. When I started this journey, I thought the hardest part would be sorting through all the stuff. But the real difficulty wasn't in the boxes. It was in my heart and my head. Every item seemed to carry a memory, a piece of my identity, a story I didn't want to forget. There were moments I sat on the floor, surrounded by old photo albums, birthday cards, souvenirs from trips I barely remembered, and I just froze. How could I let this go? Would I be dishonoring the past? What if I regretted it? The emotional roller coaster was real. One minute I felt empowered. The next, I was crying over a lamp. There were days I felt so overwhelmed I wanted to quit altogether. I kept asking myself, what if I need this someday? How can I let go of something so personal? Am I throwing away my life's memories? Will I still feel like me without all this stuff around me? And underneath all those questions was a deeper fear of change. Because when you downsize, you're not just rearranging your home. You're rewriting the story of how you live, how you see yourself, and what your future looks like. For me, one of the hardest things was confronting guilt. Guilt about letting go of gifts from loved ones. Guilt for throwing out things that cost a lot of money. Guilt for not using things the right way. I even felt guilty about how much I had accumulated in the first place. There was also grief. Downsizing brought up feelings I hadn't dealt with in years. I found my late parents' belongings, my children's school projects, even my wedding dress. These weren't just objects, they were chapters of my life. Letting them go felt, in some ways, like letting go of the people and moments attached to them. But here's the turning point. I began to realize that the memories weren't in the objects. The love, the laughter, the moments, they lived in my heart, not in the box under the bed. Once I accepted that, I found a little more peace with each decision. And here's a mindset shift that really helped me. I didn't have to declutter everything all at once. I could go one drawer, one shelf, one memory at a time. When I gave myself permission to take it slow, the process became less overwhelming. I began to ask better questions. Does this add value to my life today? Would I want to carry this into the next chapter of my life? If I were moving tomorrow, would this come with me? Another emotional barrier was self-doubt. At times I questioned whether I was making the right decision. Downsizing felt like closing a door on a part of my life. But what I came to understand is that it was actually opening a new one, a door to freedom, lightness, and a life lived more intentionally. And lastly, I had to face my need for control. I'd held on to things for years just in case I needed them. But what I was really doing was trying to feel secure through stuff. Letting go felt risky at first, but then it started to feel liberating. To anyone watching this and feeling stuck in that emotional storm, I want you to know you are not alone. These emotions are not a sign that something's wrong. They're a sign that something important is happening. Growth always stirs up feelings before it settles into peace. Give yourself grace. Let yourself cry. Laugh when you find something you forgot you had. Forgive yourself for waiting this long. And most of all, don't quit. What's waiting on the other side is worth every tough moment. Let's be honest. There's a side of downsizing that's not talked about enough. The messy, frustrating, what was I thinking part of the process. And I call it the ugly because these are the moments that really tested me. But they also taught me some of the most valuable lessons. Ugly truth #1, trying to do it all at once. This was my first big mistake. I was ambitious and motivated, but I quickly learned that momentum can turn into burnout if you're not careful. I thought I could tackle an entire room in a weekend. But I ended up overwhelmed, sitting in piles of things, exhausted and defeated. Downsizing isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. The most successful efforts happen when you pace yourself, plan realistically, and break things down into manageable pieces. Ugly truth #2, not having a plan. When I first started decluttering, I just dove in. No clear strategy, no system, no vision for what I actually wanted my new life to look like. I wasted time moving piles from one room to another, unsure of what stayed and what went. Eventually, I realized that without a plan, a real plan, it's nearly impossible to move forward with confidence. You need a vision for your future space, a timeline, and clarity on where your things will go. Donate, sell, give to family, or recycle. Ugly truth #3, trying to do it alone. I can't stress this enough. Do not try to downsize by yourself. I did it first, and it nearly broke me. The emotional weight, the decision fatigue, the physical effort, it's too much. When I finally asked my sisters for help, everything changed. Not only did we get more done, but we shared laughs, cried over old memories, and made it a bonding experience. Letting others in doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're smart. Ugly truth #4, bringing too much with you. This one stung. After decluttering about 95% of my things, I still brought too much to my smaller home. I thought I was being mindful, but old habits die hard. My 867 square foot space quickly felt cramped again. I had to go through another round of letting go, this time with even tougher decisions. The takeaway? Be brutally honest about what truly fits your new lifestyle and space. Less really is more. Ugly truth #5, waiting too long. This is something I wish I could shout from the rooftops. I waited at least 5 years longer than I should have to downsize. I kept making excuses. The timing wasn't right. I was too busy, maybe next year. But during that time, the stress, the cost of upkeep, and the emotional burden only grew. I lost time, energy, and peace of mind that I can't get back. If downsizing is on your heart, don't wait. Start small, start now. Ugly truth #6, letting guilt lead your decisions. I kept things not because I needed or loved them, but because I felt guilty letting them go. Guilt about what I spent. Guilt about who gave it to me. Guilt about the history. But guilt is not a good reason to hold on to things that no longer serve you. Letting go doesn't mean you don't value the gift or the memory. It means you're valuing your future more. Ugly truth #7, continuing to accumulate. Yes, even after downsizing, I found myself slipping back into old habits. I'd go shopping when I was bored or lonely. I'd justify little purchases because I have space now, but accumulation is a mindset. If you don't shift how you think about stuff, why you buy it, what need it's filling, you'll end up right back where you started. Simplicity takes intention, not just action. Downsizing isn't just about what you let go of. It's about what you learn. Every mistake I made helped me make better choices. Every ugly moment revealed something beautiful on the other side. If you're heading into your own downsizing journey, I hope this section helps you avoid some of the traps I fell into. Learn from my stumbles and give yourself the grace to grow through the process. Because even the ugly parts, they're part of the transformation. Let's clear up some of the biggest misconceptions that keep people from starting their downsizing journey, or that make them feel ashamed or stuck once they begin. Misconception #1, decluttering is just about getting rid of junk. No, it's not. Decluttering isn't about tossing out garbage. It's about curating your life. You're choosing what gets to stay with you in the next chapter. You're honoring what matters most now, not just holding on to what mattered then. The process isn't about deprivation. It's about selection, choosing to live with things that support the life you actually want to live. Misconception #2, downsizing is only for extreme minimalists. People hear the word minimalism and picture bare white walls, no furniture, and living out of a backpack. That's not reality, and it's definitely not the goal. I'm not an extreme minimalist. I'm someone who values comfort, warmth, and beauty without the excess. Downsizing isn't about living with nothing. It's about living with enough. Just enough to feel free, not burdened. Misconception #3, letting go means losing your memories. This one is deeply emotional. We often attach memories to physical items, a chair, a dish, a sweater, and we believe that if we let go of the item, we're letting go of the person or the moment. But the truth is, your memories aren't in the things. They're in you. You can honor the past without clinging to every physical reminder. A photo, a story, or a single keepsake can hold just as much meaning as a whole storage unit of stuff. Mindset shift. What if this isn't about less, but about more? More clarity, more freedom, more presence, more room to breathe. That's the real gift of downsizing. It's not about punishment, it's about permission. Permission to stop managing your stuff and start living your life. When you change how you think about clutter, you change how you experience your home, your time, and even your identity. And that's where the real transformation begins. After years of living with too much and then learning to live with just enough, I've discovered a few powerful truths. These 5 simple secrets help me not only declutter my home, but also clear space in my mind and heart. Secret hash 1. Start small. Don't begin with the attic or the garage. Start with one drawer, one shelf, or even one category like shoes or books. Small wins build momentum and help you gain confidence fast. Secret hash 2. Sort into clear piles. Use the basic keep, donate, discard system. Label boxes clearly. Be honest with yourself. If it doesn't add value to your life now, it likely never will. Secret hash 3. Acknowledge the emotions. You're not just letting go of stuff. You're letting go of identity, memories, and past versions of yourself. That's big. It's okay to feel emotional. It means you're doing it right. Secret hash 4. Focus on freedom. When it gets hard, remember your why. Freedom, peace, clarity, and space to breathe. They're all waiting on the other side of this. Secret hash 5. Don't declutter your mind last. Clear your space in your head. Let go of guilt, perfectionism, and pressure. You're not just creating a new home, you're creating a new life. Downsizing isn't just about a smaller home, it's about a bigger life. It's about choosing freedom over fear, clarity over clutter, and meaning over material things. If you're standing at the edge of this journey, feeling unsure or overwhelmed, take it from someone who's been there. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just start. One small step, one small box, one small win at a time. You'll be amazed at what's waiting on the other side. If this video helped you, please like it, share it, and subscribe for more stories and support on your journey to living with less.